mercy, what a stop!
My goodness, what a save!
What a save! What a glove save there, but what a stop! Looked like a sure goal. You talk about an A+ save and maybe the save of the night.
Welcome to the Goalie Science Podcast, where we break down the science of goaltending, coaching, and everything in between. I'm Dr. Jamie Phillips, former professional goalie, board-certified physical therapist, and goalie performance specialist, alongside my co-host, Derek Boujan, owner of Boujan Goaltending and On Ice Hockey Performance Center. Whether you're on your way to a game, gearing up for practice, or just tuning in, grab your favorite drink and let's drop the puck on this week's episode. All right, everyone, before we jump back in, I just want to give a huge shout out to Crease and the hockey marker. Coaches, what this is a device that uses a retractable string and a pad-safe marker that allows you to draw perfect creases anywhere, red line, blue line, corner, you name it. It's USA Hockey approved and used by coaches everywhere, not just goalie coaches, head coaches. I purchased one of myself before the sponsorship. It was stolen. That's how you know it's good stuff, when people are taking it out of your coaching bag. This allows you to give your goalies a crease, whether it is a small area game or every drill if you're in the neutral zone, and allows them to be able to manage their depth, know where they are in the crease, make sure their angles are on point, and they're going to love every minute of it. So thanks again to Crease for sponsoring this episode. Now let's jump right into it. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Goalie Science Podcast. It is the first week of November, so you know that means Movember. Well, if you're not watching on YouTube, what are you doing? Because you know what? Derek's got a good mustache. I don't. I'm not a real man. I can't grow one. So I'm just going to grow a neck beard for November, I guess. Bruce, what's new?
The mustache is new. I think if I do it every year, and by the time I get to middle November, I'm like, I'm going to keep it because I look good. And then I get to like the beginning of December, I'm like, all right, this thing's got to go. But I love the first couple weeks of November because I do love the mustache, and it gives me added swagger and confidence. So feel free to compliment me in the comments on how much sex appeal I have with this thing.
Positive words of affirmation only. The mustache has kind of been in for the last little bit, though, just outside November. I just can't do it.
The mullet are like if you're rocking a mustache with a mullet, like you are. This is a family podcast. I can't say what I want to say, so just try.
Anything new for you in the hockey world? The last few episodes have kind of been me just being mad about kids. I'm trying my best to turn their cheek. You know, Halloween's over, Christmas is coming up, trying to get in that spirit, or American Thanksgiving. Anything new on your side, or anything that's been grinding your gear that's going to get me fired up?
Well, like you said people are just talking about how much they've enjoyed the last couple podcasts, and I think you've shown some personality. Your very robotic personality is not who you really are in real life, and you're finally coming out of your shell. It only took 130 episodes for you to get a little bit of character. So I feel like I bring out the best in you. So if I can find a way to piss you off in the next hour, I'm gonna poke and press and try to get you fired up.
Yeah, no, my real personality, not my social media personality, is very just angry, just an angry little man. You know what? The thing is, no one's really done anything to get me all fired up this week, which is probably actually no. That I already thought of something. I had an athlete yesterday came up to me and goes, "Hey, are today's workouts going to be hard?" Like, yeah. They're like, oh, why? Like, when do we do like easy workouts? You guys didn't play last weekend. You have one game this weekend. Yeah, they're going to be pretty hard. They're like, and then they start complaining about workouts being hard. And you know how I feel about kids who don't want it. And that one just drives me nuts. But last podcast at the end, when we turned it off, we had a discussion after. And I'm going to pump your tires, or as the kids say, glaze you a little bit here.
I don't know what that means, and I'm not sure if I want that.
Well, it's too late. That and 6'7" are all I hear in the gym all day, every day. But at your facility, and if those who don't know, and if you don't, go watch the vlog, you'll see the setup. Derek has 2 ice surfaces. One is a full ice mini pad, and one is a half ice, half synthetic. The players stand on synthetic in their shoes. The goalies are on full ice. The nets are side by side, full creases. There's probably what, 2.5 feet, 3 feet between each net?
Yeah, about 3 feet.
About 3 feet. And for as long as I can remember, we played this game. I'm assuming you came up with it, called One Puck, where there is only one puck allowed in play. And as soon as one goalie touches it with any part of their body, could be their stick, could be their face, could be the pad, whatever it is, it automatically changes possession. And the next shot or the rebound has to be on the other goalie. And it happens quick. It's exciting. The goalies are the only ones to be allowed to go behind the net. So they have to make some plays, some puck handles. It's intense. There's battles. It's fun. I was doing our organizational goalie skate, and I had 2 of our younger goalies who are definitely U11 or U12 and under. And one of the thing I noticed with a lot of the younger kids is they haven't built up that hockey IQ yet. They haven't seen enough reps. They haven't had that intensity, and a lot of them are butterfly chasers, and that's okay. They're kids and they're on TikTok all day. I don't expect them to be super focused. But I was trying to figure out a way where I could get some intensity, get some battle, but also have them like understand kind of situations and anticipation and all the things that come into being a goalie. And I decided to do One Puck. I've done it. I do it all the time in evaluations. Whenever I was doing the Muskegon goalie evaluations, we did One Puck as a station, and it exposes a lot of goalies. But we were talking after the show, long story long, and I think that single drill might single-handedly be probably the most important drill that any goalie could ever do.
Yeah.
Or anything that's working on not like shots through traffic and stuff.
Well, this is the thing with One Puck is you can adapt. You can, as a goalie coach and a coach, you can adapt any drill to change the purpose of it, keep like the goal or the idea of the purpose. So primarily One Puck is about like it's a tracking drill, right? It's about battling, it's about competing, but primarily it's about, can you track quickly and transition from when you are not or you're getting scored on to try to maybe pass to a player so they can score. But it's a tracking drill, and it teaches you how quickly and how to make decisions quickly. So you can add, like you can take One Puck, for example, and maybe I'll throw a video of what like a One Puck situation is, and then you can just add it in as top of it. But you can, and at clinics, I do One Puck, but I started with like a rebound control scenario. So maybe a pass from low to high, goalie steps out, guy belly trap or glove save, right? You get your rebound control component, you get your beating pass and your feet component, and then puck 2, we throw it in, and now we have a puck handling component, and then we have a battle component. So with 10-year-olds, U11 AA goalies last week, I did that exact drill. And I said, puck number 2, I can throw it in on any net. So they have to be aware that there could be a shot. I said, and this is the rule. I said, if I dump it in, I'm doing that for side by side with about 8 feet apart. I said, you have to go and play it, because I had 4 guys coming in to grab the puck. It was a 4v0. I said, your job, if I dump it in, is you have to go puck handle. So now I've included a puck handling component into One Puck. So I really like single puck drills, because when we play games, it's a single puck drill. So the carryover and transferability is there, right? We overthink training a lot of times. We overthink our drills sometimes. And yes, we do need to have control drills. We need to have single skill identifiable drills, but you have to have these drills where it is completely read and react and everything is out of their control. And even as coaches, we don't know what's going to transpire, because it's giving the players the freedom, which is how we play hockey games.
Yeah. When you talk about adapting, this summer with my older goalies, especially, we would put out the multiple screen stands. and just have them in different locations. And so the drill required screens, and they had to look through traffic of the same thing. But we, we talk about it, and I like it. And it's one of my mottos I use is no dumb goalies. And that comes from understanding the play, understanding all these things, or like just why we do things. But you'll see I'm going to put this in an umbrella term, as someone when you're coaching a dumb goalie, as soon as either they make the save, or the drill is over, their brain shuts off. And then it goes into the brass monkey hitting the things together, and there's nothing there. Like there's nothing. It's dead space. One puck forces goalies to make that save and continually track it, because there's going to be another shot after shot after shot after shot. And you cannot turn your brain off. So you're forcing them to focus. You're forcing them to follow and track their rebounds out as they would in a game, and not the drill tracking of rebounds where you just slide and get up and do whatever you want. And I actually thought like long and hard about that drill. And I was like, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I was able to develop good instincts. Like that was easily my strongest suit in tight and battle situations. I was pretty lights out. Being tall helped that, but you're exposed to so many like blade changes, quick shimmy shakes. You're forced to look at the puck and not, what Jack Phibbs is doing with his feet and shoulders. Shout out to Jack Phibbs. Things like that. And it creates the intensity of where goals are scored. Goals are scored in the house. Most of them are scored in the house. So if we can force goalies to be good in the house, we're checking a lot of boxes. And like you said, the tracking part. Tracking down is a huge issue for young kids. They don't like to track down. So now they have no choice, because that puck's so in tight. And with those two young kids that I had, it was nice to see at the end of like a 20-minute, they did their drill for 20 minutes, and we just played this game for 20 minutes. They started to kind of get it. They started to get, if they like pushed way outside their parallels, they're not going to get across for the next shot, or they have to have their hands forward, and like things that I've wanted them to start to do, and we've worked on individually or in isolation. Towards the end, after I gave them some reminders, they started to click and connect. And it was nice to see, because, I'll pop my head in for when they're doing sessions with other coaches or my assistant coaches, or times I've skated with them. And, like kids tend to forget what they did the week before, and like this stuff really was able to apply it, and hopefully it continues to like stick.
I'm still laughing at you saying shimmy shake, because I think that's like actual scientific term. So that's funny. There's lots of stuff there. Like I love that you touched on like the skill development. So if anybody follows your Instagram and your YouTube, you do tons of edge work, like dynamic skating, like down skating around, no crease, not a situational, just skill development, sliding with cuts and all that stuff. The second you go into a battle situation, you now apply those skills. If you want to be a goalie that is explosive and has quick and is athletic, you play small area games with bounds, because it trains that. You can be the most athletic goalie in the world. If your process is slow because you can't track, you can't be athletic because you're behind and you're delayed. So you do something. Small area games is the way to develop all of those individual skills that we work on: tracking, skating, sliding, flexibility, sealing the edge, smothering with the hands, puck handling. All of these things, RVHs, post to post, like post integration, all the fun words. Like it's all applied through small area games. And we never talked about this. This is like secret behind everybody listens. We do not talk about what we're going to talk about. We just come on and start talking, and we find a topic, and then we just hammer it. So this had nothing. We did not talk about this at all, but we find our groove and we go. But this is a perfect segue into Easy Crease, who is our sponsor again this week, is all these small games that you do. And how often have you heard parents complain that coaches aren't doing goalie specific stuff? They're just doing all these small area games. That is like one of the most goalie specific training you can do in your practice. And I do it in my practice all the time. We do small area games to start practice, end to end practice, every single practice almost, because all of those things are so transferable. So do more of them. Do them all the time. They don't have to be, you can do an entire goalie session of just one puck, and you can get 3 or 4 adaptations of that drill, and you could put in a puck belt component, so you get some rebound control. You can put in a screen and just keep building off of that stuff.
Yeah, well, it is a shout out to Easy Crease because again, there we talk about time and place. I think there's a time and place for goalies to not have a crease, and I think there's a time and place to have it. Like you said, that having a crease doing small area games is huge because that's, as you said, it's probably the most realistic thing we're going to do in practice outside of occasionally doing like 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. And you know what actually blows my mind is there are goalies that don't like small area games. And
Do they hate
when
it?
that's what I said. I like, why? They're like, there's backdoor passes. Yeah. Okay. Make the backdoor save, man. Like, what do you want? I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's the most fun is small area games. I would just look forward to practice taking my 3-on-0s. And it's like, oh gosh, I can't wait till we put the nets in the corner and do some battle drills. Like, that is fun. And I think we talked about this, the importance of like why I love small area or half ice 3-on-3. And with the gym, I'm trying to set up like a league or skill skates, and half ice 3-on-3 league, rather with age specific. Because what I found is a lot of my goalies that were made the jump to a higher level, and this is really common, and I was no problem with it. A lot of my goalies struggled that first week or two with the speed because they've had junior A or college or pro shooters shooting on them in drills. And although I try to make it as specific as possible, it's not the same. And some of them would go to their skill skates, their college and pro skates, and it's just they turn into a shooter, or they would scrimmage, and now you're just getting breakaway after 2-on-1, and you're not getting the small area where when we condense it. Now all of a sudden in like a 30 to 45 minute window, you're getting hundreds of shots. They're all from small, like tight end, dangerous, backdoor passes, like you said, playing the puck, making reads, post integration, all the things that we want goalies to do. And now we can do it at like a super high level, try to get the goalies in a level that is they're stepping into or is a step above of what they're going to see so they can adjust and adapt. And like I was part of it when I trained at varsity in Brampton. We had a lot of good guys, like guys like Wedgwood were in there, and Sagan, and pros, college guys. And it was fun, but two, it was a challenge, and it was hard, and there was competition, and that gamification of training also helps with transferability and intensity. So like whether it's for older goalies or whether we're talking about the different Hockey Canada, USA Hockey, European Hockey models of smaller ice surfaces for specific reasons, I'm just such a huge champion of small area games in the summer for goalies. We always play games. I play games at the end of every training session. The last 10, 15 minutes is always a game. We need to implement what we do. We can't just do robotic stuff all day, every day, because then you end up getting goalies that we have to spend a lot of time unteaching them, breaking some of these bad habits that come from that robotic system. I didn't really know what the word would say. What would the word be? Unteach?
And it doesn't matter. You live in the US now. We don't expect you to be able to teach anyway. So
True.
yeah,
No child left behind, baby. Let's go.
that's right. Let me ask. This is going to get eyes. Do you want to train goalies to make saves on scoring chances or to make the easy?
I want them to do both, but ideally scoring chances, because if they're not making saves on easy ones,
But let's say I'll go by Ontario because that's where I live and that's where Jesus is, Ontario. So we have, let's say, 50 AAA teams in Ontario. Okay, so that means we have 100 AAA goalies. And now out of those 100 AAA goalies, all 100 of them, if I set up 100 pucks to the blue line with no traffic, we'll stop 98 out of 100. Right? We'll give 2% to a guy blowing one by you. like for human error. Right? But let's say 99 out of 100, every single kid in the league. Okay, so there is no separating factor there. If I take the top of the circle, 80 out of 100 will stop 95 out of 100. Okay? Same thing. We still have no separation factor. So where's the separating factor? What changes and distinguishes the top 10 goalies, top 10 guys that get the top 10 guys that go on and play at major, junior, and pro? Because out of every age group, and out of 100 goalies, you might see 2 of them play professional hockey. Right? So if we go back to your draft year, you're in 93, Jordan Binnington in the NHL. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him. You played in the AHL. Who else? Malcolm Subban. That's 3. Played in the
Sure. Clip.
He never played in the NHL, but he played a little bit in the A, so that's 4. Sure. We got 4 that we can think of. I'm sure if we went through, but 4. And for those that don't know, the 93 birth year goalie draft is one of the best OHL draft years of all. The game was good. So out of those 100, only 4 of you played AHL or hot AHL game. So what is the distinguishing factor that makes you a good, like, it's your ability to make saves and scoring. It's not if you can catch the puck. It's not stop that.
Oh, Garrett Sparks. Sorry, I pulled it up.
You pulled it up. Yeah, well, he's American. He wasn't in your draft class.
Yeah, it was John Gibson. Both drafted.
Yeah, but they weren't aerial. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the people that were drafted in 2009 OHL draft.
Okay, well, weren't you 2010?
No, it's 2009.
Who cares? What we're talking about, those are Americans. We're talking about Ontario because who cares about Americans? I don't care about Garrett Sparks. I don't care about John Gibson.
Well, you know what? Shout out Matt Winjets, my goalie partner at Michigan Tech. Damn, there's some names I haven't thought about in a long time here. Also, shout outs.
Guys drafted you, like Garrett Sparks and John Gibson.
No, they're drafted way after me, which shows someone should get fired. Or I just didn't pan out. Probably both.
But thank you for interrupting my point, which was 100 AAA goalies in a draft class, or like in each birth year. What makes you in the top 8? It's not your goalie coach shooting pucks on you from squat 2 miles an hour to your glove and telling you it's going glove. It's not him shooting 30 puck blocker and telling you they're going blocker. It's not him passing back door when he tells you it's going back door. Those are not the things that get you into the top 8 of your birth year. Because realistically, like, it's the 8 out of 100 AAA goalies are the guys that are a factor.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going down a deep cut. Alex Murray, shout out Alex Murray, drafted London Knights.
Knights 11th round, I think, right?
Yeah, friend of the show.
Another Bouchon goaltender.
Another Bruges goaltender. There were some names in there that I hadn't thought of for a long time. That was cool to see. Also, obviously, at one point I was better than Garrett Sparks and John Gibson. So numbers don't lie. Yeah, no, I think it's just I still don't understand like saves above expected and all that nonsense, but it's someone's ability to just make saves at the right time consistently. That's what sets people apart. And it's again, like the practice goalie versus game goalie. Like someone that looks good in practice, looks good in training, when everything is structured, they know what's going on, and then they just can't put it together in a game because it's not like the drill that you did a million times where the goalie coach says, I'm shooting blocker, you're going to push, and then to shoot it again, and it's going to hit your chest. Like, people still do that. There's still, again, time and place for certain things with certain structure. But the minority of our training needs to be like that. The only time I really ever tell a goalie where it's going is if it's if it's a tracking drill and it's the first one of the day. And oftentimes I'm shooting glove side. Could be high, could be low. I don't know. Just go in glove. Get your hand there. You want to get your hand in front of your pad. If it's low, catch it if it's in the air. And then from there, once they get a good feel for it, they're feeling warm. Psychologically, they're feeling a little bit more confident. They've made some saves. Okay. shoot the score, shoot the score, shoot the score. It is actually kind of crazy how there was a time, and it still exists, but there was a time where there was not a lot of like shooting the score in a goalie skate was like taboo. Super weird.
I think what's happened is the game changed so much. Even over 10 years, the game has changed so much that as goalie coaches, we have to adapt because coaches are changing.
True.
And coaches are like, go back 10 years ago, coaches weren't thinking offense. Like if you, and this is where we need Big Ben, but if you go back to like say 2010 and you look at the overall average shot attempts in a hockey game compared to now, I bet you it's down 25%. Teams are shooting less because they're passing up bad shooting opportunities or higher quality shooting opportunities. So the shots that we are seeing, the quantity is less, but the quality is higher. So when you go back to training and it's like, okay, we just got to train shots because teams are shooting. It doesn't happen. They're passing up shooting opportunities. So that changes the way that we have to coach. We have to train guys to be faster laterally on their feet. You got to train guys to count bodies and read and react and see where people are better. Because if there's 20% less shot attempts per game, but scoring is still even or up, it's because they're getting better at choosing better shot quality options, but also moving pucks across the road. That's changed. But I remember, like it goes back to like the parents. Like, I don't like getting scored on in training. I want to feel real.
Yeah,
Just speak to this guy or this guy because, and actually I'm a brand new coach working for me. He's a kid who trained with me and now he's, so with me, he understands what my standard and what my expectations are. And so he are coaching goalies on his own, and he is trying to develop his own standard and culture for the goalies that he's working for. So I got a complaint. I get an email complaint from one of the parents, and you don't anymore. Like, okay, like give me a call. We'll discuss like what the issue was. So I get a phone call, and it's like this coach was just too hard on our goalie. He kept saying like she wasn't working hard enough and that she wasn't focused and kept scoring, and he wasn't coaching her. He wasn't helping her. Well, he kept saying she wasn't focused and wasn't working hard, so he's trying to push the intensity and trying to hold her accountable. They didn't like it. They're like, well, we want a refund. I'm like, here's your refund. Here is the number of 3 or 4 different goalie schools and within 30 minutes of you. I suggest you go to one of these. Go to this guy. This guy is incredibly nice. He will be very, very good for your daughter. I'm like, but you're holding the standard and expectation that I want in my place. That's what I want. I want goalies that come here to want to get better. They want to be pushed. It's not just a daycare. We're not cheerleaders. Here, you know that you're going to get put and be held accountable. That's what we want. Now back to the then it's training. You're not willing to get scored on training. How are you willing to get better?
There's so many things. The idea that, again, getting scored on somehow makes you a bad goalie. Goalies that are afraid to get scored on. I actually had a parent the other day was like, we should come up with, like, because we have the assault bikes here, and they usually, for any sort of punishment, they're just on the assault bikes for whatever. And the parent was like, oh, they try like jokingly, but it was like, oh, we should make it where like it's 5 calories for every goal against they give up in practice. I was like, I don't want my goalies to be scared to get scored on ever, whether it's practice or a game. Like, so I'm not going to punish someone for giving up goals. If someone gives up a goal, are we going to maybe like work on how they gave it up? Yeah, we're going to work on it. It's not punishment. It's a way to get better.
You know what the right answer there is? And I'm cutting you off because I'm fired up now. You know what the right answer? Every goal your kid gives up, as a parent, you do 5 calories. Like, first of all, you're going to do 5 stand because that's a stupid comment. Number 2, if your kid's giving up goals, is because you are not holding the standard to your kid, and you're letting your kid go into practice unfocused, and they're getting scored on. So you jump on the bike, you big fat donkey. Because same thing. What if we say to a goalie, "I want you to stand on the goal line for the first 5 minutes." Well, why do you want me to do that? Well, number one, like you're off angle all the time, so it's going to help you with spatial awareness. If you stay on the goal line, you can't get hit in warm up, so it's going to force you to start tracking and processing and react. So, oh, well, now the parents are like, "Oh, he's getting scored on." Parents are so dumb.
On the flip side of that, I had a goalie who took 6 weeks off. Well, was off for 6 weeks because they severely sprained their MCL. And their first skates back, they obviously were not good because they had not been on the ice or done really anything for 6 weeks. And then their next 2 starts, they got pulled. And so I saw them and I was talking to him. I was like, "How do you think you did?" Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Just coming back after everything. Like, I didn't feel great. Like, the puck was just moving so fast." I was like, time off. Like, our tracking goes. Like, our lungs and legs go, but tracking goes fast. And it only takes a couple of days for tracking to go. And I was like, "Did we do any hand-eye stuff?" He's like, "No, you're right. I probably shouldn't. Like, I just didn't think of it." And I was like, "No, no problem. Like, it happens. You're young. First injury, things like that." He's also like, "Yeah, and my dad's been like really hard on me." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "My dad just been yelling at me and stuff. He's telling me I'm bad." I'm like, let me talk to your dad." I had to go be like, "Your son took 6 weeks off the ice. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?" And it's just like, "Oh, that just can't happen." Like, well, it does. It does to everybody. So just relax. All right? Just relax. Um, oh yeah. No, just not getting scored on or yeah. I don't really have anything else to add. Otherwise, I'm gonna start my blood boiling.
Blood boiling. People will start liking you there.
Yeah, it's true. And I can't have people. I can't have that. I need to be we just have to be good cop, bad cop, and I got to be the bad cop.
Well, I don't know what to say. Like I said, we don't talk.
Yeah, we don't plan. Oh, so circling back to Easy Crease, when you guys buy one, hook it underneath, like underneath. So go through the net and hook it right across. Don't go above the net. One thing I found when you hook above the net and you try to get like a straight line, sometimes the cord bends across the crossbar, and so it's not straight. But if you hook under, you don't have that problem. So I started hooking under. My creases have been flawless, and it's less of like a Parkinson's crease, and it's more of like a clean edge. And those markers are great too. So good.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some human error in there. Like, I have, man, I'm like
Oh, that video you sent me?
stupid busy. I sent you the video. It's going to be in my vlog. I am stupid busy in November, and like I'm just swamped. So I'm way behind on everything. Um, but yeah, it's human error. Like I have a video of one of my coaches trying to use it in the clinic, and he pulls it and then he lets go of it and it slings across, and it's funny. But it's a great product. But yeah, it is what it is.
Let's flip the tune. So I popped my head. Okay, we are in November.
November time, baby.
Are we halfway through the season-ish?
No,
Minor hockey season?
I say 1/3.
Christmas time is about halfway, correct?
Yeah, I say my team, we are 19 games in, so figure we're gonna play close to 60, would be my guess. Let's say you're 1/3 through the year.
Okay, 1/3 through the year. Things aren't going well.
I think there's
First of all,
action coming up. Like November to me is where I think a lot of goalies kind of struggle a little bit.
yeah,
Because you have that excitement coming out of the summer where you train. You get off to like, you're excited to start your season. You start off with like some early bird tournaments. And then your team usually has like an away tournament, right? Kind of in October. So like there's lots of excitement. And then now there's like a lull from like November 1st to like Christmas where like you probably don't have an away tournament. You might not have a tournament. You're not close to playoffs. Like there's just a little bit of that like lull. So like this is the time for like goalies to like really lock in. Like don't let that downtime here where there's like you just don't have it's not you don't the funness and excitement of going to the arena because it's the start of the year is starting to fade away a little bit. It's a little bit more work. And then as you get to Christmas, that excitement comes back up again. And it's just a trend. Like you'll see it. And goalie parent side, I saw it last year, big time. Like my kid had the worst November in the history of all hockey. It's the fact where I'm like, he's going to quit playing hockey and just play basketball as a white child. I'm like, I don't done. He's done with hockey because he can't make saves. He forgot. And then boom, December 1st, and it was like, boom, he's been great. So as a goalie parent, I will say that I am fearful for November if we're going back to history. So we will see.
So what you're saying is there is a correlation, not a causation, by the amount of mustaches and the performance of our goalies in November.
Maybe it's my kid sees my mustaches, asks questions about his genetic makeup, and then he plays poorly.
It's like those videos of like babies seeing their dads fully shaven for the first time and they freak out. That's exactly what it's like.
My daughter though, every time it's gone, and like I see her for the first time, it's you're ugly. It's hilarious.
Um, how can if you're there's two ways. If you're a goalie listening, what can we do to combat this like November lull? And if you're a parent listening or parent of a goalie, what can you do to help support your goalie throughout a potential lull?
So the only thing I did last year was I removed all pressure. So November for me last year as a hockey dad was an aha moment. So we didn't talk about games. I didn't talk about how big a game was. Didn't talk about tournaments and I mean, I did that through November. And when it got to the point, it was like, oh my God, this kid's a horrible goalie. It's like, all right, dude, like we're just go. And in my brain, I was like, please make saves. Like somehow find a way to get hit with pucks, please, this game. And we just didn't talk about the game. I didn't talk about like the night before, be like, hey man, get to bed. Like you got a big game tomorrow. I completely changed everything that I was doing and just said, hey, it's hockey. Let's go have fun. And he played better. So that was like November for me last year was a huge learning experience on how to deal with my kid as the boy side, like goalie father side. From a goalie coach side, it's you do what you've been doing. You got to, as the goalie coach, you got to find what's working for each kid, right? If it's tracking, back to tracking. If it's screen, go back to screens. Maybe it's not adding more skates. Maybe it's actually removing skates. Give that a little more away from the rink because that wall where, I mean, every parent, when their kid's not playing good, what's their solution? More.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe the solution is less. You have to rink less. That way, when they do go to the rink, that excitement is still there.
Yeah. This brings something so like my head coach, Ben, who we should probably get on the podcast at some point, former goalie and very good strength coach. We have this discussion all the time about gamification. It's a word I used before, and if people that are familiar, whatever. Basically, just finding ways to challenge kids and make it fun. Finding ways to make boring things fun or mundane things fun. So example, in training, we have these different devices that will measure the speed of a bar, or we have timing gates. So like how fast you're running or the ground contact time. So if you're doing a couple box jumps or hurdle hops, how fast are you getting off the ground? And with gamification, it allows us to create competition and create excitement. So let's just say we're working with a U14 team and we're doing trap bar deadlifts and everyone's trap barring 105 pounds. Their goal is to be like, today we're moving the bar fast. And we have our velocity-based training devices. And it's a competition. Who's going to move the bar the fastest? And with that, we makes it fun. The kids get up, they make it fun, they make it exciting. When we do sled pushes and things like that, oftentimes we turn it into a race and make it fun. So finding ways to gamify the goalie side of things. And again, without putting pressure on your goalie to make it like, our job today is to give up 5 or less goals. I really do not like counting goals in practice. Again, same thing with punishment with goals, but finding a way to, maybe it's, I'm going to battle as hard as I can on every single rebound. Like that is going to every rebound that I can. Obviously, if we're doing those stupid 6-shot drills where it's shot, 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 maybe it's the last shot. I'm going to dial it in and I'm going to battle to the very end and finding a ways to make it fun. Or if you get a chance, pick a player and be like, today, I want you, I'm not going to let you beat me today. Or you're going to score a certain amount you're not going to score a certain amount of rebound goals, or finding ways to challenge other players to bring their intensity up, which brings your intensity up and brings your focus in. So making it fun, turning things into some sort of enjoyable games or competitions, especially against players. I do caution like goalie against goalie, unless your relationship's like really good in that sense. But finding the couple best players in your team and being like, yo, Joe, your job, like you're not scoring. I'm not going to let you score more than 3 goals today. And they're gonna be like, yeah, I bet I will. And you're like, I bet you won't. I'll untie your skates if you do. Well, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, now there's some, and then that they're all dialed in. They're having fun. Now you're having fun, and it's just again, it brings that excitement to it. So it's finding ways to create. Sometimes having to artificially create fun for yourself, going through like a lull or a mundane time. Or this also works when you're playing poorly. If you think you're playing poorly or you are playing poorly, to bring some of that fun and excitement back, where sometimes you gotta kind of like almost like fake it till you make it. And then all of a sudden it starts to flow. And you're like, okay, this is fun again. I'm making saves. My confidence goes up and up and up and up.
Well, the best athletes in the world are the best athletes because they're so competitive. So if you make anything into some sort of competitive environment, you're going to automatically get more intensity and get more fun. Like, as much as I hate losing, like, I don't know anybody more competitive than me. And I'm sure, like, there's so many people out there that say that about themselves because that's what athletes do. Like, they're just so competitive. I hate losing. Like, a loss will chew at me for 48 hours. Nothing more. Like, and I always, like, hold myself accountable on a loss for everything. But that's why the second you make anything, like we go back to our one puck in our small area games, is the second there's a little bit of a competitive atmosphere, you are going to get elevated performance.
Oh, oh, I've just put Coach Ben and I have been writing a whole bunch of programs. So shameless plug. Actually, I'll probably put it. A 365-day program is now live. It's I got it today. We're recording on November 5th. It's probably going to come out November 6th or 7th. It's good. If you're interested, go down below. Whatever. I should say whatever. It's actually phenomenal. But I also, on top of that, I built some accessory programs and I built some like lactate threshold work. And we have a baseline test. And so I got a couple of the players were like, hey, can we, our legs are getting heavy. Can we do something? Like, yes, we're going to do this. And then Coach Ben and I were watching and they're like, oh, this looks terrible. And then the kids are like, oh, there's no way that you guys could beat our time. You should. So I just told, I was like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, I'm not wired like a normal human being. Like, I would straight have a heart attack and die if that's what it takes to win. And so we did this. So it's a classic CrossFit workout called acid bath, where it's 500 meters, so fast as you can, 500 meters on the ski erg, 500 meters row, 1,000 meters on a bike ergometer. And it's painful. It actually is way more painful when you stop. That's when your legs just die on you. And I haven't done cardio since the bachelor party. And I annihilated these children, obviously, because they're kids. But oh my God, did it hurt. And I was tasting iron in my lungs for the next like 7 hours, just coughing all day. My week has been ruined. But these kids challenged me. I'm not gonna not go all out. But that's the way, like, to find that fun, and we can laugh about it. And poor Ben died on it too, because he's not a cardio guy, he's a strength guy. But he did it too, and he pushed himself really hard, and he beat the kids too. And it's finding those ways of fun. And then those kids are like, we're doing it again. Next week, we're doing it again. And I was like, well, I'm not, but you guys can. And now they want to do this.
Standards there, you don't have to do it again.
Yeah, I said if you can beat 5 minutes and 58 seconds, then you're good. Also, I was only 1 minute off of Matt Fraser's time. And it's actually insane that someone did it that fast because I don't think I could go any faster.
That's like go flashback 7, 8 years ago. Like realistically, there wasn't too many things that me and you could compete at because we're very, very different. But spike ball was one. So we would play spike ball, greatest game on earth. All summer, every day, 5 hours in the front lawn and on ice. And like we would be tarps off, sweating, chirping each other because it was like the only sport where we actually could compete against each other. Everything else either was so like
You're too strong and I'm too aerobically based.
and if we go to golf, you are horrible. Like it doesn't matter what we do. That was the only thing where we could go head to head. And it was and the trash talk and the competitiveness. We set up an entire tournament just so that we could go.
Just and we set up a tournament, a bracket round robin with us purposely on different teams, knowing that we would converge and play each other in the finals. Didn't matter who our partner was. We were just like, we will see you in the finals. We will annihilate everyone in between. And I remember just make the first play, give me the ball.
This is a fun story. We had I think it was like 2018. We ran a pro week at On Ice. So Jamie and there's I think 6 pros and we ended up getting into this bunch of spike ball, obviously. And shout out to Alex Murray again. Alex Murray and another kid named Chris Gratton. Cam Gratton. So Alex Murray was running his mouth and love him to death. Not in the best shape. Like he liked this Coors Light. So he was telling us that he was the campus spike ball champion. So
at AIC, mind you, so like a real university.
Very highly academic university, yeah. So he was the campus champion. So me and Jamie started laughing. We just, let's go. So we beat him. I think we beat him 3 times in a row, like 21-11. Then we beat him left-handed. So we're both right-handed. The rule was we weren't allowed to use our good hand. And we still 3 times. Wrong hand. And they'll never live that down. And that might be the most amazing athletic performance of my entire left-handed games against Cam Gratton and Alex Murray. That was my peak athletic performance.
I wonder how we would have done against those, like, you know, where you watch like ESPN 8, the Ocho, and there's spike ball on. And those guys are good and they have all the strategies. They use their bodies and stuff that we never like really did. I wonder how we would do against them. I'm sure we would get crushed, but I wonder if we could keep it close. But that's what when we talk about spike ball, like I haven't played in a long time. Last night's tight. I think Fran and I just started dating, and I was against her and obviously crushed her. I'm not gonna lose to my wife, and I had to try to explain. Like, I don't think you guys know like how good I am at spike ball. Like, I'm not good at a lot of things, not that athletic, but spike ball for whatever reason I just check all the boxes of long, gangly, contract pucks, contract spike balls. That's about it.
Power.
Don't have power. Yeah, like don't.
What a game.
It is. Okay, so in the gym, this summer we are going to buy spike balls and use it as like a warm up because I want to recreate that intensity and I need to assert my dominance over these children. It does kind of check the box of like basically everything you need as a goalie though: footwork, speed, anticipation, tracking, coordination, communication when you're playing with a partner. Like perfect. Staying low. Like what more do you want? Make it fun. Yeah, so spike ball, you know what? Maybe we should do like your gym versus my gym sometime. You find the best player, I'll find the best player, and then we have like a battle of the border.
Oh my God. We should do that. We should do an EM camp with a spike ball tournament. I have nobody that I trust. I have to hold tryouts. It would be no in Ontario. Tryout fee is $250 only.
You get a jersey and a water bottle.
If you win, you have to be my partner, and I am not easy to play with.
No,
Say for me. Derek and I downloaded a Spike Ball app to see local games in our area. There never were. That's like we had the Tinder of apps to find teams.
We did.
That sounds fun. I haven't played. You know what? It sounds. I need to just join. Sometimes, like if I go to the beach or whatever, and I see people playing, occasionally I see guys that are pretty good. And I just don't have the confidence to go up and like talk to them. But like when I play with friends, it's never. They're just not that good, and so it's not fun.
I was gonna say, like, if you're good, you can go and join any game because the guys that are playing want good players, right? Like thing is, like, you get somebody that comes and plays. Like, say we're playing, is hey, can I play? And then if they're good, instant friends. Like you're like,
Yeah.
hey, join this app that we are on. So
Yeah.
know anybody there, but if they suck, you're just like, all right, like go play on the swing over there, dude. Like hit the road. You just gotta be like, hey, you want me to play? Like I'm legit good, and they'll let you in.
How can we get Spike Ball to sponsor the pod? That's what we need. We could probably sell a lot of Spike Ball things to some goalies. This is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable game.
Oh, it's that pickleball, all of it, any of those things that like, you want to talk about, like non-sport specific, like white ball is like unreal training for goaltending and is in the opposite of sport specific because you're not on ice, you are on grass or sand or like a gym.
Yeah. Oh gosh, now I'm just those were some fun days. And I'm excited for summer and it's November. I was trying to think. Any any parting shots or things on your shout outs or parting shots, things on the top of your brain that from the last week?
I do. Well, I have a little bit of a rant. So
Oh.
we are good friends with Dr. Ackerman, Milton Sport. People think that we get kickbacks on this. We do not. I get $0. My son goes there. I pay full price like a schmuck. I should get kickbacks. I don't. But I'm still going to take him there because he's the best in the biz. I have an elite goalie that I have been working on trying to catch pucks for a year and a half. And he just would not do it. I could not. So inconsistent with catching pucks. Very, very good goalie. Couldn't catch pucks. And I kept saying to the old man, I said, you have to go and get his eyes assessed by Dr. Ackerman. Wouldn't do it. We just got his done with his like Costco eye doctor for a year and a half. So finally came. I didn't even ask anymore. I just booked the appointment for him. I said, this is your appointment. I'm like, if you can't take him, I'm going to take him. But he's got to go to Milton and get his eyes assessed. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, there's nothing more. I've tried everything. Every trick that I knew to get this kid's hands getting better. Nothing. Wouldn't work for a year and a half. So we finally got him assessed. His eyes are cross-eyed. So everything that he sees coming on he's seeing with his right eye on his left side, his left eye on his right side. He needs a prescription of a +3. So I don't know if anybody knows things like 0 is good. Like 0 is you don't need nothing. It goes up in increments of 2.5. So it goes up or it goes down away from 0. So the farther you get from 0, the worse it is.
It goes up by 0.25.
2.5.
He's at 3.
He's at a 3 minimum.
Oh jeez.
Doesn't know. He could be at a 5. He's got to put these drops in his eyes to see. So the dad's mad because he took him to Costco and Costco's like, oh yeah, he's perfect. Like, well, because they did this most basic, like entry level crappy look at the letters and he could see the letters, but he didn't understand that his eyes were cross-eyed. So when he's watching a puck that's moving and people are moving, he can't see anything. So my eyes are 4. I'm blind. Like, if I didn't have contacts and I couldn't see you and my screen is about 3 feet away from me, there's no way. And he is trying to play AAA hockey at minimum of 3. And this is because we finally figured out because he went to Ackerman. So my rant is like, if your goalie coach says you need to go and do this, just go and do it. Because this kid's wasted a year of development because dad was too stubborn that it finally took me just booking it on my own and offering to drive him on my own to get this fixed. And the fix was they put contacts in his eye. Done. Immediately fixed. I trained this kid last night. I didn't score on him in an hour. He's like, I can see so much better. Yeah, no, duh. Obvious.
Oh, there's so many things. Okay, yes. Now you bring it up, we should be getting significant kickbacks from Ackerman, so that's pretty messed up. The only thing I get out of it is he helps me whenever I have goalies that I'm like, I need a solution, and he usually trying to help me. He did the same thing with a couple of my goalies that drove to him, fixed their vision, tracking's good. All of a sudden, the guy, exactly. All of a sudden, like I'd be like, I don't know why you can't catch pucks. I don't know. Like you said, all the things that we usually do that work aren't working. He fixed those, and then two things. So obviously, we live in different countries with significantly different healthcare systems. Dr. Ackerman does not charge nearly enough for what you get. Like it's actually, oh no.
I pay full price there. Don't start saying that so he jacks up the price because I don't get a discount.
No, I already told him to jack up the price because the first, like, way we live in an American healthcare system, so like people pay a ludicrous amount for insurance that gives them absolutely nothing, and then if they actually want care, they got to pay out of pockets. They're paying twice, so it's always the question. They're like, "Well, is this going to be like $1,000 a visit or whatever?" Like, no, it's like 150 Canadian a visit. Like, go do this, and we think of then else. There's just so many rants. Listen to your goalie coach, especially if they're telling you to go somewhere else to do things, because if that usually means one, they care about you, and two, it means like they don't know. It's good to have a goalie coach that doesn't know everything, because no one knows everything. And seeing a specialist, he is the best in the business for a reason. If you are trying to be a high level goalie or high level athlete, eyes are very important. Go see a specialist. There's a reason that he specializes in what he does, similar to the reason that I specialize in fixing broken hockey players. That's what I know. That's what I'm good at. My biggest problem with all that is sometimes I fix them a little too quickly and they stop coming to me for 10 visits and they see me for 2. And then I'm like, ah, darn, I should take my time a little bit. Maybe I could actually afford a house, but instead we get them quick fixed a little too fast. There you go. But go see experts. Go see an expert. It's worth the investment to see someone who's very good at what they do, because maybe they can fix them with just some contacts. Or see me if you're hurt. You'll give me a call.
I don't know how many times the guys just fixed goalies, and I'm like, I've been working on this for a year. I'm like, he just gets to the point where I'm like, it's not me. It's not my fault. I've done everything that I've worked 1,000 times. I'm like, something's wrong with his brain. You need to go and get it fixed by somebody who is smarter than me. I can't fix this. And fixed. And first game, 3-0 shutout.
So if de facto you earn that 3-0 shutout by getting him to go see, so it's your shutout.
Yeah. So my shout out this week is to myself.
Well, I'm going to shout out myself too on that same vein. Is I had a player, a young player, referred to me by Instagram. Crazy enough. Went to see hip pain, blah, blah, blah. Went to see a local, so a Grand Rapids kid, went to see a local physio and got diagnosed with glute weakness, which also like isn't your glutes can be weak, but it's not a diagnosis in itself. Did the exercises, the classic clamshells, boring nonsense, did nothing. He was seeing a sports psych out of Vancouver. That sports psych talked to a physio out of Vancouver who said, I got to see someone in person. That physio put a story on Instagram and said, if you're a PT in Grand Rapids, reach out. I got a hockey player. I reached out. I said, hey, I thought I was going to be a Grand Rapids Griffins guy. And I was like, nice, there's my in. Turns out it was a young 16-year-old kid. Came in, eval'd him for 2 hours. I just narrowed down everything. I had this little suspicion in the back of my mind. And I was like, not just yet. I'm going to send him away with some hip flexor stuff. If it doesn't get better after a day or two, or so you heal better at all, like give me a call. And after a couple days, I was like, you know what? I'm calling though. So I called the parent. I was like, listen, how's he doing? They're like, so somewhat, but they're still having trouble. I'm like, look, I think they have what it's called a SCAFI. So slip capital femoral, SCFE, slip capital femoral pistis. Basically, the growth plate on the head of your femur, it slips. And he was it usually happens in kids ages 10 to 16. It's about 1 in every 10,000. I had never actually seen it in person, which is why it didn't pop up immediately in my brain, but he was there towards the end. And I was like, listen, this is what I think it is. Just go get an x-ray, please. And they're like, absolutely. Got an x-ray. That's exactly what it is. Had surgery the next day. It's probably going to miss most of the season, but it could have been really, really, really bad. And the reason is, and that's popping my own tires, but like, he was a hockey player. All the things that hockey players do and see and do, like, that's what I do. And so, like, if someone sent me Shohei Ohtani, sorry to bring that up for Blue Jays fans, I'm not the best guy to fix a baseball player's shoulder. I can do a lot, but if he comes into my office, I'm going to get a selfie and then say, like, I got to find someone else for you. I'm not your guy. If you're a hockey player and you need hockey things, go see hockey people. If you're a goalie, go see Ackerman. He's the goalie eye whisperer. I don't know what to tell you. If you're a hockey player and you're injured, come see me. I am the goalie hip whisperer. That sounds weird when I say it like that.
It does.
Yeah. Hey, so are you shouting out Charlotte Payne today, or is that just not this week?
Nope.
Damn, she's gonna be mad.
And I have to because I think we talked about this last week or the week before. I can't remember. We talked about like results and how Mike that was his results, and you playing well. And I was trying to say, don't worry about the results. You just keep doing what you're doing. Well, 3 of his last 4 starts, player of the game, got a huge win, first win of the regular season on Saturday. Big 5-2 win, had a shutout going with 30 seconds left, gave up a breakaway goal. Kid can't stop breakaways. He's allergic to making breakaway saves. I have to get him some reactant or something. But yeah, I got to give my shout out to my kid this weekend because he's been great and was not getting the results and kept working and stayed focused and his attitude was good and finally got rewarded. And now our team is on a 2-game winning streak because 2 makes it a streak.
I don't have any kids to shout out, so shout out my cats. One of them finally decided to snuggle with me last night, and he really never does. So shout out to my cat Mochi. Before we leave, I did promise that we're going to give away the Easy Crease. So during the middle of this episode, I went and put my video into a random YouTube giveaway picker, and the name that popped up is Carmela Driver 5406. And you didn't reply to my text that I sent. Do you know that person?
I'm using my phone to record this podcast, but yes, I do know Carmela. Her son is Hudson DeShriver, who has played Hail the Ski with my son last year and is a defenseman that I train. And great kid. I love that kid. He's a defenseman. Give it to somebody. What do they want to do with it?
They won.
They won. All right. Well,
they won. It's the rules of the rules. I have a lot of integrity in this. And you know what's funny too? Because you know what? Everyone's always like, the first comment's never going to win. Hers is literally the first comment. But it was just the random YouTube picker. So Carmela, if you're listening, thank you. I'm going to be home in December. So I'm going to bring it to Bouge or ship it from Canada because shipping internationally is expensive. I'll just bring it to you. Easy Crease. Thank you everyone for entering. And the show keeps on going. There's a brand new set of Bauer shadow reactors in my office, like size large, that I'm giving away for free. All you gotta do is sign up for my email list where I just send out hockey tips and training tips. You're automatically entered to win if you just sign up. That link is below. So if you're listening to this, you get early access because I probably won't do that giveaway until Friday. I'll probably announce it on December 1st. So someone has a very, very exciting Christmas of a brand new full set. If it's not your size, this is a question I get. If it's not your size and you win it, I don't care what you do with it. You could sell it. They're yours. You want it. So anyone can enter. Just sign up in the link below, email, and then Yeah, appreciate that. So brand new set of gear, which is sweet. So shout out Goalie Monkey for just giving me gear to give away, because that's awesome, and I should start selling it so that I can pay for things.
Is it pads and gloves?
Yeah, like, you keep talking to the people. If you're listening, go watch YouTube. So I'm gonna grab them.
Well, okay.
I didn't hear a single word you said, so thanks for. Okay,
Right.
here's. I grabbed one glove. I grabbed a glove and one pad. But yeah, it's the full set.
Those are nice. What size?
Size senior large.
Oh, so those are the most.
Yeah, it's like the most universal size pad you can get.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah, and all you have to do is sign up to my email list. A lot of you are already subscribed, but I'm just switching over to a new email platform. And also, if you buy something from the first Phorm link below, you get 10 extra entries. That's my shameless plug. So you get 1 for entering the email, or 10 for buying some good supplements.
Just want to apologize to all the people listening for coming to infomercial.
Hey, well, you know what? You can't play the Bills playing spike ball all day.
What if we could?
Well, why is ESPN not following us around?
I don't know. All right. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, comment, like us, give us a good rating because it helps the algorithm. Come say hi. I'm in Mississauga this weekend at the Mississauga North Stars tournament, and I'm in Niagara North for the Niagara North Memorial AAA tournament. I'm going back and forth because I'm insane, but I'll be around. The mustache will be there on play, so come around and introduce yourself, shake my hand, we'll chat hockey, and you can buy me a beer.
I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend. I would also love a beer and a coffee. So if you are from Charlotte, you like hockey and goaltending, shoot me a message and we'll meet up this weekend. And my wife will yell at me for meeting up.
Meeting strangers.
Meeting strangers. If you have candy and a white band, that also helps.